Alright, somebody asked me after I put a video up about my dual compressor setup. They asked me about my hoses, how I have everything hooked together. So I guess I didn't go into too much detail on that. Quick recap on the other video. The reason I am doing this is I'm working on a boat. I'm sanding it down interior and exterior and going to repaint it. And this is kind of inspired by a video I watched by a guy named Frankie Bouchong, B-O-S-H-O-N-G. He's up in Virginia. He does a lot of boat work, paints boats and things like that. So it was either get a mounted compressor to the ground in my garage, like a 60-gallon or 80-gallon, or get creative and do something like what I've done here. So the guy I've just mentioned, Frankie, he has a dual compressor set up at his house. It's a 29-gallon Central Pneumatic and then a 33-gallon broken Husky. The pump doesn't work, but the tank works, so it works as a backup tank, and he's got the two tanks hooked in tandem and then comes off them to his tool. So the way I've done it, and the purpose of this video, is a little more detail on this. So I've got, these are two hoses you can buy at Harbor Freight. They're 3 feet long, actually 3 of them. They're 3 feet long. When you buy the hoses, they're not going to have any fittings on them, so of course Harbor Freight sells all the fittings that you need. So I'm coming off each compressor to a hose to a T. Now I think Harbor Freight has this T, but I got mine off of something I took apart years ago and it was just laying around the house. So anyway, it's just a brass T which goes to a ball valve so I can turn air off to the rest of the system. Now looking back on it, and I think I'm going to do this, I think I'm going to get rid of this on-off valve, put an on-off valve on the output of each of my compressors, and I won't go into why, but you can figure out why. So anyway, it comes out of each compressor to the T, to the ball valve, into this setup that I've made, which is portable as well. Just got 2 pieces of wood, or 3 pieces, mount them all together. This is a filter which I got from Harbor Freight. It's a Central Pneumatic, just an air filter regulator. It's got a ball valve, on-off ball valve on it as well, which then goes over to a Central Pneumatic air filter and desiccant dryer. The reason I need the desiccant dryer is, well, first off, I'm in Florida. It's pretty humid down here. I'm planning on doing some painting, some spraying with the gun, and I don't want to get any water in my paint. I'm going to do some testing first to see if this thing can handle it. I don't know how quickly these beads turn color. They're kind of starting to turn from purple to pink a little bit when I bought them, and now they're pretty much pink, but not like, well, I should probably change them. But I've only used it for about an hour so far, so if that tells you anything, I think I might need a bigger dryer. However, I have not yet seen any water come out of this filter. I've only seen like a tiny mist come out of this filter. This fat compressor sprays a lot of water. The skinny, newer compressor that they made, it doesn't put out much water. I don't think I've seen it, but maybe a mist come out of that. But again, this fat compressor, it's a water hog. It creates some water. So back to the tool, back to the setup. 2 hoses coming into a T, to a ball valve, into the first filter regulator, into the second filter desiccant dryer, and to my tool. The tool that I'm using initially for sanding is the Baxter. It's a random orbital sander, and it claims it needs 90, or it'll suck up 3 cubic feet, I think, at 3 cubic feet per minute at 90 psi. So I turned these off. I filled them up earlier. Just show you that it works off of this system. All of this was this color just a second ago. So these things are fully capable of running that sander. I've been sanding inside my boat. I've got to get a lot of gel coat off and a lot of old non-skid, which was like pattern non-skid, not like a spray-on. So it's really thick, and it's a job, but this compressor setup is doing its job. It's doing a good job of it. Happy that I got it set up, or that I actually decided to go with the more portable version as opposed to getting something permanent in my garage. If you got any questions about the setup, by all means, don't hesitate to ask. Comments down below, and I will respond.